All right, welcome back to the Virtue Bowling Supply YouTube channel. My name is Chris, and I'm here to bring you guys the high rev perspective.
And my name is Josh, and I'll be bringing the low rev perspective.
Today we're going to be taking a look at the brand new RotoGrip Gremlin Tour-X, and I'm going to be comparing that to the Storm Ion Pro and the Radical Deep Impact.
And I'll be comparing it to the Storm Bionic and the Storm Ion Pro. These reviews will give us and you an idea of what these pieces look like going down the lane. At the end, we'll give our honest, unbiased review anywhere from nuts to trash. Today we are here at Bolero Mesa on a fresh house shot. With that being said, make sure to like and subscribe, and we'll see you out on the lanes.
Gremlin Tour-X going down the lane. This one I think is already miles above the first Gremlin. I really did not like how niche that ball reaction was, and for them to kind of modify the core a little bit and throw something a little slower and a little smoother as far as the cover goes, I think this one made it look so much better. I only missed once, and it was probably the worst shot I've thrown in my life. Other than that, it blended the wet-dry friction here at Bolero Mesa so well and gave me such a consistent reaction kind of no matter where I threw it on the lanes, especially with there being a little bit more friction here to the right. Even when I sent it there, it was still smooth and blendy. So to me, this ball reaction was really, really good. So now I'm gonna go ahead and compare it to the Ion Pro. All right, now, so the Ion Pro, I feel like gave me a pretty similar reaction as far as like roundness off the end of the pattern. But to me, I think it's a little bit cleaner and a slightly bit quicker to friction. I noticed that when I kind of got around it, it started to see a little bit more of the early friction just because of how quick it wanted to be compared to the Gremlin. The Gremlin, it was at least smooth and didn't like check off the spot. The Ion Pro, when it saw friction a little too early, it was a little too quick and jumped off of it and went through the face. So I do think it's a slightly similar ball reaction, but I think it is just a little quicker to friction. So now I'm gonna go ahead and throw the Deep Impact and see how that compares. So to me, the Deep Impact cover-wise felt like it was a little bit cleaner and a little bit more down lane, but it also felt like it was a little chuggier off the spot. Like it seemed like it had a little bit of a bigger core to it. So I didn't really see that like roundness like the Gremlin. I really saw more of the slightly more hook stop ball reaction. I did notice when I got it to the right, it seemed a bit quicker than the Gremlin, but overall I felt like it had a bit of a stronger motion down lane than the Gremlin Tour-X. All right, final thoughts on the Gremlin Tour-X. To me, ball reaction here was absolutely nuts, and I couldn't put this in any other category but nuts. I feel like this was the perfect kind of ball reaction, especially for here, with there being a slightly more cliff shot out here. To me, this was a really kind of good blend. It's not the most continuous bowling ball, and it's not the most forward. It's kind of a blend in between the two, and to me, it seems just super predictable and just easy to know what the ball's gonna do off the end of the pattern every single time. So it's definitely gonna go in the nuts category for me.
Just threw 10 shots with the new Gremlin Tour-X. Boy, let me tell you, this ball is pretty darn good. Right out of the box, it kind of reminds me looking like, almost like an Ion Pro. Definitely a little bit earlier than something like that. For me, I still felt like it had the kind of tumbliness of the Gremlin, but by far way earlier, way smoother, and just stronger overall. I did feel like it gave me miss rooms in either direction, especially the miss in. For me, typically here at Bolero Mesa, that miss in can get kind of pretty cliffed and can really never hook depending on how you get it off your hand. And for me, there's a couple of them in there where I felt like I missed it off my hand, got it in, and it still dug and drove through the pocket. I did feel like the miss right was still good, but it definitely hook stopped and kind of rolled forward, so I had to be careful as to when I got it to friction to make sure that it was still shaping down lane enough. But by far gave me one of the best ball reactions all day today, and just a really trustworthy ball shape. So now we're gonna go ahead and throw 5 shots with the Storm Bionic and see how it compares. This ball basically just felt like a symmetrical version of the Gremlin Tour-X. I did feel like they were similar, kind of had play similar shapes, but I did feel like I could cheat my feet just a board or two further left with the Gremlin just because it was asymmetrical, and I could feel that it wanted to kind of dig in a little sooner, where the Bionic was just a little bit more skid through the front part of the lane. But overall ball motion, these two guys were pretty close to each other. Again, about a board or two different, not very much, especially considering playing the same part of the lane. So now we're gonna go ahead and throw 5 shots with the Ion Pro and see how it compares. Just finished throwing shots with the Ion Pro. Now, first of all, this ball did have just a little bit of surface, so I did feel like that made it hook a little bit earlier than what it normally does, but from the last tournament I bowled. But you could still see how this ball wanted to be cleaner than both of the other balls I threw, especially considered against the Gremlin. Definitely, I would say a ball down. If I had kind of made both of the surfaces similar, again, you'd be able to tell easier, but I could just tell from knowing the ball. I've thrown this ball for a long time now, just how much smoother and calmer down lane it was. For right now, I didn't feel like it was enough ball, or basically if I had, what I wanted to do was kind of shine it up, play a little bit further right, but because it had the surface, I couldn't do that, but it also wasn't big enough to kind of throw in the oil. So it kind of felt trapped because of that surface, but like I said, definitely a ball down, something that shapes just slightly more down lane than the Gremlin. Final thoughts on the Gremlin Tour-X. This ball for me, highly anticipated ball, and I feel like this ball came through. I did feel like this ball kind of gives you a very, almost like an asymmetrical benchmark kind of ball. It definitely, for me, would be the first ball out of my bag, especially on a house shot, and it just felt like it kind of gave me the best misses of kind of everything. So I didn't strike the most that I have with this ball compared to other balls I have on camera, but for me, the ball motion, it requires a nuts. I felt like this ball just allowed me to feel comfortable, and there was definitely some misses in there that struck, and even the couple times I didn't strike, wrap 10. So again, controlled the pocket, allowed me to kind of play wherever I really wanted to play and just execute. So nuts for today.
Thank you guys so much for watching. If you found this video useful, make sure to like and subscribe, and we'll see you guys in the next one.